Are you chained to your to-do list, believing your worth lies in crossed-off tasks? Meet Liam, whose world crumbles when a power outage forces him to stop. Through the unexpected silence, he discovers a profound truth. Learn how Liam redefined his value beyond productivity, finding peace and joy in just being. Prepare to question everything you think you know about success and self-worth. Liam lived by his to-do list, a digital scroll of tasks defining his day, his worth, his very existence. Each completed item was a victory, a validation in his fast-paced world. But the unfinished ones, they loomed like dark clouds, threatening to overshadow his every accomplishment. The cursor blinked, a mocking reminder of the project deadline looming closer, each flash amplifying the pressure. He was a productivity machine, relentless and efficient, yet a sense of unease gnawed at him. An email notification pinged into his inbox, and he barely glanced at it. It was Marcus, a friend who remembered Liam before the endless tasks took over his life. A simple invitation to lunch. Lunch? A pause? Unthinkable. He began a polite, brisk decline, but fate intervened. The screen flickered, then died, the world going silent as the power went out. Panic flared, hours of undone work, looming deadlines, broken promises. His mind spiraled into a vortex of anxiety. The silence amplified the dread, the to-do list now useless monument to his failures. What if everything falls apart? He muttered, his voice cracking with despair. Time was slipping away, and with it his sense of worth, his very identity. Exhausted, he collapsed onto his balcony chair, the world stretched out before him, a canvas of blue sky and drifting clouds, indifferent to his internal chaos. The distant murmur of traffic, usually a source of irritation, sounded oddly calming. For the first time in ages, Liam was still, simply watching, simply listening. He noticed the vibrant green paint on his neighbour's window trim, the way the morning light made it glow, small details he usually missed in his rush to be productive. Being still felt foreign, uncomfortable. His mind fought the absence of productivity, struggling to find a task, a problem to solve. Slowly, the tension began to ebb, the knot in his chest loosening. The anxiety softened, becoming more of a distant hum than a ravenous predator. An hour passed. The power flickered back to life, the monitor blinking expectantly, awaiting his command. But something had changed. The frantic email he had almost sent, full of apologies and explanations, suddenly felt unnecessary. His value hadn't disappeared during the blackout. The world had not ended in that hour of forced rest. In fact, it had offered a glimpse of something more profound. Liam sat back, a quiet smile forming. He picked up his phone and typed back to Marcus. "Lunch sounds great." In that moment, Liam understood something vital. His worth was not measured by his output or the tasks he completed. It was simply there, independent of productivity. Being, not just doing, had its own irreplaceable value. From that day on, Liam found balance. He respected his deadlines, but he gave himself grace. He learnt to listen to his needs, to pause without guilt, and to recognize that his value was never just a number on a checklist. It was the quiet, steady presence of who he was, enough, always enough. Liam went to lunch with Marcus that afternoon, and they talked and laughed like no time had passed. He learned the value of connecting with others and remembered how simple moments could enrich his life. Liam realized that life was not just about achieving goals, but also about savoring the journey and finding joy in the present moment. He began to see his to-do list as a tool rather than a burden, a guide to help him accomplish his goals while still prioritizing his well-being. Liam learned to set boundaries and say no to tasks that did not align with his values or contribute to his overall happiness. He discovered that prioritizing self-care was not selfish, but rather a necessary investment in his long-term health and success. Liam began to embrace his imperfections and accept himself for who he was, flaws and all. He realized that his value was not determined by his accomplishments, but rather by his character, his kindness, and his capacity for love. Liam learned that true success was not about achieving external validation, but rather about cultivating inner peace and living a life of purpose and meaning. And so, Liam continued to live his life with intention, balance, and a deep appreciation for the value beyond the to-do list.